Hello and welcome to Cooking with Jarvis Thompson. Today we're going to make a delicious meal. Oh my goodness, appetites get compromised. My son loves this. Clam chowder and bacon. We got the chicken of the sea baby clams, and we've got Oscar Mayer naturally hardwood smoked bacon. These are the two key components of this meal. The two superstars, so to speak. I'm going to show you the repertory players in a minute, but tonight we're going to be making a delicious meal that's guaranteed to soothe the stomachs of people worldwide. First thing I want you to do is make sure you get a big slab of bacon like this. I mean, come on. When Adam and Eve were chilling, Adam was eating up a grip of bacon. You want to cut this into real tiny pieces, because it's going to be the first thing you do when you throw it in the pot. These are the character actors of my clam chowder and bacon. Some people like to use half and half. I'd like to use 2%. It's what my son uses for his cereal, and I enjoy it myself. It's not as thick, not as many calories or carbs. And when you're eating clam chowder and bacon, you can best believe that you're going to be eating a lot of fatty crap. Onions and potatoes. Make sure that you slice up those 3 fat Idahoan spuds. And the onions, dice them up, I don't know, small or large or whatever you prefer. But make sure those are diced and sliced prior to throwing them into the crock. The first step of the process is adding the minced garlic. Now that you've put the minced garlic in the crock pot, turn it to medium and start to cook. Now that you got the garlic cooking over there in the crock pot, take the bacon like I said and chop it like this. You can do it however you like, but I like it like this. And I stick it in there and the fat and the lard off the bacon starts to popping. Once the garlic's cooked for a few minutes, throw the bacon in and let it sizzle. Once it's a little bit crispy, then we'll move on to the next part of the process. Remember those onions I spoke of? Dice those up and have them ready. Looks like the bacon's ready. Prepare for another sensory. Make sure you cut up your onions like this. You don't have to use 2, but 1 would do. And make sure you've got plenty of those flowing. That helps the clam chowder go down easy. After you throw the onions in with the bacon, cook it for maybe 4 to 6 minutes, something like that. If you think bacon smells good, well, damn, adding onions to the fire just does all the better. When I make it for my mom and my stepdad, my punk-ass stepdad, he don't like onions. But tonight's a different occasion, and I'm not expecting his happy ass over here tonight. While you're cooking the bacon and the onions with the garlic, start dicing your potatoes. Get them ready. They need to go in soon, ASAP. Make sure that after you cut up the potatoes, before you add them to the bacon, the garlic, and the onions, that you wash these spuds. Make sure you wash as much of that starch off as you can. Looks like he's ready for a little sud bath. After you add the potatoes to the bacon, garlic, and onion mixing, you want to cover the potatoes with water and then turn it up to high heat and let it go for at least 15 to 20, possibly even 25 minutes until the potatoes reach desired effect. Sometimes when I'm cooking, I go over to the front and I just make sure that no one's trying to mess with my stuff. Like my cactus right there. Hopefully no one messes with my cacti. Got quite a science collection going on over here, of a collection of botany. In case I forgot, make sure you have one of these. This is going to boil for at least 15 to 20 minutes like I said, so just keep an eye on it, but you can go do other stuff. Get your butter ready. I usually use a stick of butter, and then in this coincidental situation, this one little here, I'm going to throw him in as well. I think a little bit of extra butter is going to go a long way. All right, make sure that these 3 clams, you drain out at least half of the 3 clam juices, and then put it into a bowl. Do not I repeat, do not use all of the clam juice. It just overtakes the whole entire bacon and milk and potato concoction that you spent so much time and energy on. Don't screw it up. All right, it's almost ready. I guess I have to take that back. I had 3 clam cans and I emptied out all the juice except from one. I don't want this clam overpowering the whole entire chowder. Once the potatoes are done, add about, 12 to 22 ounces of this 2%, and then put in the clams and the butter all at once and just let it cook. I'll show you in a second what it looks like. All right. The potatoes are ready to go, and now we begin the final process. All right, those potatoes were done, so I threw in the clams. I got ready for a clam jam. Threw in the butter and about, 16 to 17 ounces of that 2%. What you got to remember is once you start doing this, it's going to be soupy. I like my chowder thick. And if you want it thicker, you gotta add flour. Let this cook for at least 4 or 5 minutes, stir it around. Right about this time, you should be half deep into this 12-pack right here, and that's how you know that you're cooking a damn good chowder. You see it boiling right there. It's boiling up right now. That butter's churning. It's melting right there on the spot. You can see the little tiny butter molecules floating around that soup right there. It looks good. You gotta cook it a little bit longer. Let the butter melt. Let the juices soak into each other. Let them get to know each other a little bit. And then add a little flour. I'll show you how to do that in just a split second. You can use your own foragable vegetables that you cook, like right here. This is my disposable green onion collection. It's not as crisp and as animated as it should be, but it's probably because it's January in Hesperia and it's cold as hell outside. We had to put it in here, but I like to add it to my clam chowder for a little bit of color and dexterity. What did the green onions say to the chowder? Well, they said, hey, I think I need to be inside you because we make a damn good team. So anyway, we got the chowder going, we got the green onion flowing, and now we just got to cook it for a little bit. All we got to do now is add the flour. Stir in the flour, but make sure and take due diligence in this project. Look at those clumps of flour. You got to break those down. You got to make it part of the chowder.